If you watch The Beat, you know that sometimes we try to be funny on this show, which rarely works out. But tonight, we're going to get some help from Larry Charles, the writer for the hit TV sitcom Seinfeld, where he earned an Emmy. He also went on to direct Larry David's HBO series Curb Your Enthusiasm, plus the famous mockumentary Borat. And now he's got his own Netflix documentary, Larry Charles' Dangerous World of Comedy, where he embarks on a mission around the world to look at what makes us laugh.
Dangerous World of Comedy is not just about comedians. It's also about the people that make it a dangerous world. Murderers, terrorists, extremists, and what they laugh at. We will explore comedy in places where nothing is funny, in places where it doesn't belong. By knowing a country's comedy, you will know its past, present, and future.
Thanks for being here, Larry.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Comedy as a window into the soul.
Yes.
That is something you believe, or just your gimmicky pitch to Netflix?
Kind of something I learned, actually. I didn't go in with that agenda whatsoever. I really came in thinking I would meet people doing, what The Daily Show does here, satirizing corrupt governments and trying to survive. And that does exist in great numbers around the world. But what also exists in great numbers is comedy being used to heal in these traumatic areas, these areas that are undergoing mass trauma in these war zones, people dying, being wounded and injured, families being destroyed, and laughter being used as a tool for healing in those circumstances.
Because Seinfeld was so beloved, it was one of the last shows that had really the whole country tuning in, and its jokes were largely seen as about, everyone said nothing, of course it was more than that, but about stuff that we could all relate to, including the little stuff.
Right.
What is the deal with airplane food? That's a very solid Jerry Seinfeld impression. I won't make you comment on it. But you guys would delve a little bit.
You're actually doing Gilbert's impression of Jerry Seinfeld, Gilbert Gottfried's impression of Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, I'm nothing if not hopelessly derivative. You work with Larry David.
Yes.
We are all in politics getting ready to see more Larry David because Bernie Sanders is back. Let's take a look at that iconic impression.
People love me, okay? I have more individual donations than any candidate in history, and I don't take from millionaires and billionaires. The average donation is just
27. Yeah, no, because you say it every time you're on TV.
Okay, well,
Everybody knows.
Does that count as an impression, or is that just Larry David?
I think Larry David is so uniquely qualified for that impression, it's not really that much of a leap. Bernie's from the same neighborhood as we are also. So I think it's like we knew Bernie's. We grew up with guys like Bernie Sanders all over the place in Brighton.
And did you ever think one of them would get this far in presidential politics? He was number 2 last time. He's back in it.
Well, I hate to tell you, I grew up in Trump Village in Brooklyn. So as much as I'm still getting over Bernie Sanders running for president, Trump being president, that's something I will never get used to.
What was the perception of Trump back then?
Well, first of all, Trump Village was built by his father, and he was like a 14-year-old kid wandering around, still in the suit with the weird hair, and he's somebody that was thought of as a joke. He's somebody that wants to be a comedian. He thinks he's funny, and now he has a captive audience, which is kind of dangerous. That's truly dangerous comedy.
Before I let you go, I want to play some of your work in Curb Your Enthusiasm to do something that no one was really asking for, which was try to make Holocaust survival humorous.
Yes.
And obviously people have strong views one way or the other.
Yeah.
There's room for culture to engage things, and you are Jewish.
Right.
Let's take a look at this this clip from Curb.
Let's check it out.
Have you even seen the show?
Did you ever see our show? It was called The Holocaust.
Look, all I know is I was damn close to that $1 million, all right? And the whole time, everyone's backstabbing me and undermining me, trying to get me kicked off the show.
You don't aggravate yourself about survival. I'm a survivor.
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 Funny.
Funny?
It's not really
Funny. If it bends, it's funny.
It's not really exploiting the Holocaust. That's why Larry
Explain,
David,
yeah. Who's the target of the joke?
The target of the joke is really the guy who was on Survivor. The idea that he would have no sense of what the Holocaust was, that he would even have a competitive conversation with a Holocaust survivor, shows how oblivious he is to history. And because of that, we're not exploiting Holocaust victims.
Right.
It's completely funny and relatable.
And isn't there the old saying, if you're ignorant of history, you're destined to be made fun of on a premium cable show?
And that's how it works. That's the proof of the pudding right there.
And what is more biting than satire, really?
I don't know. You tell me, man.
You tell me.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Hey, I'm asking the questions
More
here.
biting than satire of violence, I suppose. That's the next step. I don't really have a good answer for that one. What's more biting than satire? Do you have a joke? I don't know what the answer is.
You're
to
a
that.
little bit like Andy McCabe, who I interviewed a while back, when
He's
he
not
didn't
giving
know
you a straight answer?
I wouldn't go that far. When he didn't want to answer, and sometimes there are good reasons not to answer something. It might be waiting for the Mueller report.
Yeah.
But when he didn't want to answer, he would repeat the question back or
Yes.
say, "What are you really asking?"
Well, I'm waiting for the Mueller report also. So it makes sense.
Larry Charles, I think you have that in common with many people. My final question would be this.
Yes.
When you look at comedy in the age of Trump and your special, is comedy, in your view, a helpful part to get through what you've described as a rough period, or just a diversion?
Comedy is essential. Comedy is a crucial force in our lives. Comedy is like breathing and eating. Laughter is a crucial part of survival. So I think it is a very serious and very important subject, and something that we need more than ever now.
Larry Charles.
Pleasure, man.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.